Welcome to the second part of our Upper Manhattan market update for November. This is the Upper Manhattan condo update. So the condominiums is, over 90% of the market share in Upper Manhattan. So we're focusing a little more on that. And I've personally developed condominiums in Harlem. I've been doing this for 25 years. So as a developer, we, wrote the condo plans, developed them, did the Schedule A, Schedule Bs, and now our management company manages over 70 or pushing 80 buildings now, 3,000 units. So we do have some familiarity with condominiums. So let's go. We're going to talk about history now. Next year, we're going to talk about the future starting in 2025. My research department gave me 22 charts and pages. I'm going to go over the top 9 for you right now. So what I think is important is chart number 1, Upper Manhattan condo inventory. There's 220 on the market. The chart doesn't look like it's an average, but that is average for condominiums on the market in Upper Manhattan. So it's a good, healthy number. Condominiums listed by bedroom. The majority of the condos on the market right now, 93 of them are 2 bedrooms, as you see on chart number 2. And you'll see a real deficit in the studios, only 14 on the market. And later, when I talk about pricing, price per square foot, you'll see what that limited number of studios on the market does for the developers that created studios. Good news for them. Chart number 3 is condominiums. I thought it was important, price by square foot, because if you look, what we just mentioned, only 14 studios on the market. On the price per square foot right now, the studios are $1,097, where the 3 bedrooms with usually, expansive living rooms, usually larger bedrooms, are below that at $1,018 a square foot. So that has to do with inventory itself and, the developers planning for the future. And then the market changes suddenly with high interest rates and everybody downsizes. Local Law 97 is also a law that is coming to effect that is going to change in 2025 the common charges and your carrying costs for a larger unit. These larger condominiums, I call them cookie cutters. Condo charges will go up because of Local Law 97, which is going to affect every building over 25,000 square feet. And our management company works on that stuff all day, so we're familiar with it, and we can explain it to you if you have any questions. Number 4, I thought this one was interesting. We combine, or my research department combined listings with combined the maintenance and the tax and divided it by the bedrooms and looked at the averages. And if you're living in a studio, you're paying $1,000 for both your taxes and your maintenance charges, where if you're in a 3-bedroom, you're paying $2,572 before you start your mortgage payment. So that's something to chew on. We can dig into that more detail if you need us to. And that stuff all changes with the inventory that's on the market at the time. You're looking at a small data pool, with 220 units on the market. You have 3 or 4 large developers can take up, 50% of that. So the shift in these numbers happens blows with the wind, Okay, chart number 5 is shows you condominiums in contract by bedrooms. This is interesting. 78 are in contract right now, and 31 of them are 1 bedrooms and 27 are 2 bedrooms. Most all of those you'll see later are priced right at $999 or a little under that. Something to note. 6 is condominiums in contract by price. As I just mentioned, 45 under $999, and most of those it's between $500 and $999, but most of them are pushing the upper limits there. And then you only have 13 over $1 million. So that $1 million mark, there's some extra cost when you pass 1 million in New York, but I think it's more of a psychological barrier than anything else. So many people come in our office and they're like, we want a condominium. It needs to be under $1 million. And that shows in these charts. The turnover rate is 12.7%. So it was down to right at 1%, hovering at 1%, and now it's at 12%. So you can see that rising. And that's basically, if you have 100 on the market, 12 of them are going to sell each. Chart number 8 is, and we're almost done here, 252 sold yearly. So year over year, 252 condominiums sold, 28 properties closed and recorded this month, the month of November. That's not a year over year, that's a monthly average. And so we're at 12.7% attrition rate, turnover rate. And that is way up from about 1 or 2% back just within the last year. So you'll see the movement in the condo market is definitely moving up. Chart number 8, also, this is a year over year average. 252 condominiums sold in the past year, and 143 of those were, so over half, were under 1 million, and again, pushing right at 999. So that's the price point that people like. And then this last interesting chart I think is interesting because we focus on, our company used to, we developed these small condos, turned townhouses into condos, put them up, dug out the cellars, put penthouses on them. So we made small buildings into larger buildings and created condominiums out of these boutique units. If you look, right now, the elevator buildings are in green or your R4 elevators. 202 out of the 252 were in these cookie cutter elevator buildings over the past year. The R2, which is in gray, and the R1, which is in orange, these are walk-up buildings and or 2 to 10 unit buildings. These are only 50 sold in the past year, but if you look at the prices, they're all the same. So yeah, do you want an elevator? It's nice, but do you want a sexy boutique condominium that nobody else has? Yes, that's what I want. And that's what a lot of those 50 lucky people were able to get, those at the same price as the elevator buildings. And some of the small buildings do have elevators, and some of them, yeah, you walk up a couple flights of steps. You don't need a gym. All right, that's the condo market for December, which is based on November data. Our year-end report is going to be pretty extreme this year. We're going to look forward into what's happening and what condominiums are filed for the future. And our year-end report comes out in January for townhouses and condominiums. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in early January with our December report. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.